Today on Judge Faith, he thought he'd made his dream of driving a delivery truck come true.
When I returned back from Africa, he told me to come work for him, and I said, no, I want to do the delivery.
But his former employer says putting him behind the wheel was a nightmare.
I mean, he wants to stand over there and act like he's really doing something. He begged me for gas money. He didn't have insurance. He ran the truck over a curb, flattened the tire.
Now it's up to Judge Faith to settle the shipping wars.
I want to see the company paperwork that tracks how many stops he made.
I can't make copies of it and take it out of the building. I can get fired.
If you don't have the paperwork, why should I take your word over his?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Eric Bauwa says he trusted his former employer, who scammed him out of money and left him homeless. He's suing for a down payment and unpaid wages. He's accompanied in court today by Joyce Whitley. Defendant Eric McElroy says he started to see red flags the first week after he hired his former employee, and then it only got worse until he was forced to fire him. He's accompanied in court today by Heather Pape.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Bauwa versus McElroy.
Thank you, Juan. Eric Bauwa?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Eric McElroy,
Yes, Your Honor.
for $5,020 you say he owes you for back wages and a down payment on a truck you say you purchased from him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll start from the beginning, sir. Why don't you tell me, and I read both of your papers, and I know you both submitted a fair amount of evidence. I've reviewed all of it, but I want to get the background story from both of you. How did you end up working for Mr. McElroy, sir?
Your Honor, I used to work in the same company that he's a manager, and I traveled to Africa last year in August. So when I was there, and the manager then in charge called my former boss and told him that he want to work with me. So when I returned back from Ghana, he want me to work for him. So when I returned back, I went to the place and he told me to come work for him. And I said, no, I want to do the delivery that I'm doing.
Before you left for Ghana, what kind of work were you doing?
I was deliver mattress, doing delivery.
Mattress delivery
Yes,
services.
please.
Okay, and that wasn't for the defendant, that was for someone else.
Yes, please.
And so when you were in Ghana, that person who you were working for called you and asked you to come back and work for them.
Yes,
And
please.
you didn't want to.
Yes, please.
And so you somehow got involved with the defendant. Tell me about that.
I spoke with him and he said now he's a manager because before he used to do the same thing that we were doing. So he said he's a manager now for the delivery service. And he said, the boss said he should give me a contract. So he's going to give me a contract.
What month and year was that?
It was October.
October of
last year.
2014.
Yes, please.
Is that how you remember this happening?
No. The person that he's speaking of came to me and said that, hey, he wanted to work for the company. He wanted a contract. I told him that he can come and talk to me about a contract, but there was not a contract that was promised to him.
Okay, but he came to talk to you, and what happened?
He came and talked to me and told me that he wanted to do deliveries and that he would work for another contractor, but if he couldn't work for another contractor, he wanted to purchase a truck.
So he comes to you, and he's asking you for a job.
Correct.
At that point.
Correct.
And what does he say to you?
He told me that he took care of his wife and kids in New York and that he had an apartment here and he was about to get evicted from his apartment and would I please hire him, that he really needed a job. So I told him that he could start to, because I had never seen him work before. I know that he did deliveries, but I've never seen him on a truck.
So did he tell you at that point that he was in desperate need of money, that he didn't have any money, so he really needed a job?
Yes.
That's your recollection of the conversation?
Yes.
Okay. And so what do you say to him at that point?
I told him that I'd like to see how he works and what his work ethic was, whether he would show up on time.
And you're in Georgia, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what exactly do you hire him to do? What are the employment terms or the contractor terms?
Well, there's two different ones. If you're an employee, you can work for any contractor that you want to.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm talking specifically about the plaintiff.
I spoke with him about being either a regular employee for another contractor and then that's when he asked me if he could be a contractor. So that's when I asked him.
An independent contractor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so was that the agreement?
I didn't agree to anything.
You hired him, right?
Right, but it was not in October.
Okay, when did you hire him?
It was around November.
What was the agreement when you hired him in November in terms of what type of work he would do and how he would be paid?
He got hired as a contractor on a preliminary basis, a probation period, and I told him, I said, if you do well and you show up and you come into work and you have your worker, I said, do you have a driver's license? He didn't have a driver's license. I told him that normally when you get hired as a contractor, you have to have a driver's license. I said, but if you can provide another person to drive your truck for you, I'll be nice and I'll go ahead and I'll give you the probationary period of being a contractor. So it was supposed to be $35 a stop, and he got hired in as a contractor, but not with a permanent contract.
But he's hired $35.
Yes.
A stop, and he works for you for how long? What date to what date?
It was from November. He worked for a couple months.
From November what?
I'd say till the end of January, February, something like that.
Okay. Did he submit invoices to you with the number of stops he made?
Well, they keep their own records, but we have records. We go by the manifest. So whatever the manifest says, that's what we pay. You can get docked for stops that the company, I'm just the management. So if the parent company docks you, I don't have anything to do with that. If you don't fill out the paperwork correctly, or if you're late to a delivery, you can say that you had 70 stops, but if the manifest, all of them total 50, that's what they get paid. So they pay me, and then I pay the contractors.
Okay, and who is in charge of keeping this manifest?
The company is.
Okay. And so do you have the manifest for the 2 months you say he worked for your company?
No, I keep my own records, but the manifest stays with the company, not with the management company.
Okay, you don't have a copy of that?
No.
Okay, how did you know how much to pay him?
You go to the filing cabinet where they keep them on file, which is open to the contractors and to myself and to their employees, and then they go and it has the dates on them.
No, I'm asking you though. You paid him a sum of money, right?
I go look in the files,
right,
and I pull all actually, Heather being the office manager, she would go look in the files, pull all the manifests. It'll show who was working that day, what truck it was, and then that's how we keep records of that.
Okay, and so from November to December, you have records of how many stops he made based on this manifest.
Yes.
Do you have a copy of that with you?
Well, I don't have copies of each day because it would be, a whole stack of manifests, but I do have a sheet where I've tallied what stops he made.
Coming up on Judge Faith, did unrealistic expectations make this business arrangement impossible?
You're saying he made 84 stops?
Yes.
And you say you made how many stops, sir?
123 stops.
Plaintiff Eric Baua says he thought his former employer was a good guy until he refused to pay him and repossessed his truck. He's suing for a down payment and unpaid wages. Defendant Eric McElroy says he doesn't owe any money because his former employee defaulted on their agreement and he was forced to take back his truck.
You issued him a check. I want to see your records on how you decided what to pay him. You've explained to me that there's a manifest. On that manifest is documented the number of stops that he made. You already told me he makes $35 a stop.
Right.
So I want to see the manifest and the number of stops he made.
I can't take copies of the manifest because it has people's personal information on it, their address, their names. That's against company policy. They wouldn't let. If I went in there and I asked them to take copies of it.
You just told me that it was open to him,
you can go look at it, but you can't make copies
go.
of it. I can't make copies of it and take it out of the building and I can get fired. So I'm not going to do something that I can get fired for. I keep my own separate records.
Are you the accountant in the company?
I'm not the accountant. I'm the office manager, yes.
Okay, can you stand up, please? What do you have to say, ma'am?
The company provides us with a pay sheet, and I compare that to the records that I have kept. So, for example, I know that 84 stops were run. I double check and make sure we were paid for those 84 stops before we pay the contractor.
You're saying he made 84 stops?
Yes.
And you say you made how many stops, sir?
123 stops.
Why should I take your word over his?
All I'm telling you is I have what I'm allowed to have. That's all I can say.
You submit all of your invoices to Mr. McElroy for payment?
Yes,
You
Your Honor.
don't submit your invoices to the company that keeps this manifest for payment. You submit it to Mr. McElroy,
I submit to Mr. McElroy,
Okay.
Your Honor.
So you say he starts working for you in November?
He didn't start right away as a contractor. He was floating between people's trucks because he didn't have money. He came to me and asked me he wants to stand over there and act like he's really doing something. He begged me for gas money. He didn't have enough money to even to buy the whole truck. I was nice enough to even let him give me a down payment for the truck.
Wow.
He didn't have insurance. I carried insurance on the truck for like 2 or 3 months because he couldn't even go get insurance. His employee that he was supposed to pay came to me and said, oh, Eric hasn't paid me yet. And I said, well, why hasn't Eric paid you? Eric came to me and asked me if I could change the name on his check because he owed his bank money.
Stop. You're getting way ahead here. You say he worked for you. I'm sorry?
Go ahead, I'm listening, I'm sorry.
I need you to understand something. You see what this says up here? You see this?
Yes.
It says Judge Faith Jenkins?
Yes.
When you walk through these doors, I run this. I don't need your permission to speak in my own courtroom.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you again, slow your roll. I do not like your attitude, but I'm going to get to the bottom of the legal issues in this case so you can go back to Georgia and run your company in Georgia.
Okay.
Coming up on Judge Faith, did bad decisions derail his delivery dream?
He's supposed to be making payments on this truck to pay the truck off. That's the agreement, right?
Yes.
You don't even give him a chance to make a payment before you take the truck back, but you keep $3,000?
No, I did give him a chance to make the payments.
No, you didn't.
Plaintiff Eric Bauua says his former employer stole his money and took his truck. He's suing for a down payment and unpaid wages. Defendant Eric McElroy says he doesn't owe anything because his former employee defaulted on their agreement.
Okay, tell me about this $3,000 you're suing for the truck.
Your Honor, when he told me he's going to give me a contract, he asked me if I have a truck, and I said no, but I'm about to buy one from somebody that works there.
And you need a truck to make these deliveries?
Yes, please. And Your Honor, he said, oh, that man truck is not working. It's not working. But I have a truck that if you buy the truck and use it, and I say, how much you selling it? And he asked me how much the man is selling his truck. And I said $5,000. But the man said if I give him $3,000 for down payment, the rest, he will give me a time to pay it. Until I finish paying it.
What time period?
It was November, but the man said when I put $3,000 down payment, he will let me use the truck when I start working as a contractor.
You have a truck that he's buying from you, correct?
Yes.
You give him $3,000 down payment, is that correct?
Yes.
What's the total agreed price that you'll pay?
$6,000. That he said I'm going to pay.
Is he buying it from you personally or from the company?
Personally, but it wasn't for $6,000.
Okay, what do you say the price was?
It was $9,500.
And do you have anything in writing?
I didn't put anything in writing with him.
Okay, so, but he did give you $3,000. We do know that much.
Yeah, I'm not denying that.
How much are you supposed to pay for the truck, the remainder of the payments?
He said, I keep on asking him how much you're going to break it down. And he said, wait until you start working.
Did you say to him in terms of making payments on the truck?
I told him he would make monthly payments, and I said, can you handle monthly payments of $600? And he said yes.
Okay, and when were those payments
That was from the
start?
they were supposed to start from the very beginning.
What's the very beginning?
From, we'll just say January.
Okay, so for January 2015, because he just starts working at the end of December.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
He told me after he took the money, he said the truck that I'm giving you is not working. The kingpin is not working, so you have to fix it. And I said, how much for the kingpin? He said, not less than $400. You won't spend less than that. So I went and bought a kingpin and let somebody fix it. The person that was going to fix the truck, when he hear my name, Eric, he said he's not fixing it. And I said, why? He said, because the other Eric that owns the truck, I'm charging him for the kingpin $500 to fix. He said he's not doing it. So I want to know if it's you, Eric, or him, Eric. And I say, it's me. So the guy fixed the truck and charged me $500 that he is aware. And when he sold me the truck, he didn't tell me that the air condition and the heat is not working.
Well, see, that's why you need to get things in writing, because when you sell a truck to someone, it's as is by default. It's an as is sale. So who has the truck now?
He has it, Your Honor.
Okay, how did you end up getting this truck?
I took the truck because the kingpins that he's talking about.
When did you take the truck?
It was like the first week of February.
First week of February.
Right.
Oh, did you give him his $3,000 back?
No, because it's non-refundable deposit. He didn't pay me any money for payments. He didn't pay me any money.
Sir, you just told me you sold the truck to him in January. You say you took it back at the beginning of February.
What I'm saying.
What payment is he supposed to make I'm telling you what you just told me. At the beginning of January, you sold him the truck. The first week of February, you take it back. I want to know why you didn't give him the $3,000 back.
I didn't give him his money back because he owes me money. That's why I didn't give him the money back.
What does he owe you money for, sir?
I had repairs done to the truck. He ran the truck, him and his driver ran the truck over a curb, flattened the tire.
I'm sorry, it's his truck.
But I paid for the initial repairs. If it wasn't for me paying for the initial repairs, the truck wouldn't even have moved.
You sold a truck to him. He's supposed to be making payments on this truck to pay the truck off. That's the agreement, right?
Right.
Yes.
You don't even give him a chance to make a payment before you take the truck back, but you keep $3,000?
No, I did give him a chance to make the payments.
No, you didn't.
He owed me, it's not just a payment of the truck, Your Honor.
What do you have to say, ma'am? What do you have to say?
This is not true. This is not true. Eric actually had the truck for less than 10 days. He started working on the 30th of December, and this guy took the truck back on the 8th of January.
If that's the case, then how did he get such a big paycheck then if he only had the truck for 10 days?
You can see where the stops were written, and then he went back to work on the 13th for this guy in the truck.
Frankly, it doesn't matter if it was 10 days or if it was the first week of February. If you sell him, if he gives you a down payment of $3,000 and he's giving you that down payment as a part of an agreement that he's going to buy this truck from you and make monthly payments. When you took that truck back, within a few weeks, you breached that agreement. It's his truck. If there are repairs that need to be made on the truck, it's his responsibility to make them. He's buying the truck from you. I don't agree with these truck deals where you put a down payment and you have to keep paying people money for the truck because you're acting like it's still your truck when it wasn't.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No. No, you breached the agreement. You said in your answer he missed 2 to 3 months of making payments to you, and under the time frame you have given me in court today, the plaintiff didn't have the truck but 4 to 5 weeks at most.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Let me see the check you paid him in January. You paid him once, right? In January?
Yes.
Okay. How much was that check for?
It was for his stops, $2,000 his stops minus what he owed me for a little bit of gas. I didn't take out everything he owed me for gas. And some of the damages to the truck. And that was just some of the damages that he did.
Why are you taking off for damages to the truck that he owns?
Because when I told him in the beginning, I told him any repairs, this was a verbal agreement that we had. I said, any repairs that are done to the truck, you have to run them past me first because I don't want you just getting some fly-by-night mechanic just in case you can't afford to pay for the truck and I have to take the truck back from you.
So hold on a second. I want to get this straight. You went into his paycheck and deducted from a personal agreement that the two of you had about him purchasing a truck from you? That's exactly what you just said to me.
I'm explaining myself.
I don't need to hear anymore. You're double dipping.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Double dipping. You can call it double dipping, but that's not.
You have a personal agreement with him. This has nothing to do with the company, and you're going into his company check, making deductions about this truck? That's what you just said to me. You're dead wrong. Your company paid him for 84 stops?
Yes.
You say you made how many stops, sir?
125 stops.
Okay, I'm going to order him to pay you the difference. Because of all of the inconsistencies and the lack of record keeping and your convenient excuse, you go between you running the company and you not having access to the records to bring them to court. So I'm going to order you to pay him for the 36 stops that he says he made. Mm-hmm. In addition, I'm going to order you to refund him the $3,000 for the truck since you decided to go into his personal paycheck and take money from his check for a personal deal the two of you had. You're going to pay him for the truck that you took back after only a month. Judgment for the plaintiff, $4,260.